This is kind of a funny opening too, by the way, with a second barracks going up in the corner of SpeCial's main base. I think Juanito looked at those Reapers and that one heli in the last game. He's like,
Yeah, that was pretty
found
good.
a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe I can do that again.
This probe is not gonna spot the second barracks, so Has gonna be playing with a little bit of incomplete information here. First Reaper is gonna get out here in a sec, and that should, hopefully for Major, yeah, that probe is not gonna see it.
Yeah, no, you make an excellent point. Like, it's a great scout. Even if he doesn't see everything, what he sees is that the command center is a little bit later than Terran command centers normally are when we actually go for the traditional Reaper fast expand. And then on top of that, he sees a Reaper in the main base of Special, and he sees a Reaper in his natural. Now, the triple Reaper hit squad is still gonna pack quite a punch. And a few probes are gonna fall immediately. Special needs to be a bit careful against the double adept, but Special's kind of picking Has apart in the early games here.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now, just avoiding fights with those adepts. Picked up 3 probes there, which is going to be painful. He's built a bunch of Reapers, so he needs to make it worth. I think he's doing okay so far. Behind this, what is the tech? What are these guys going to be doing? We see a factory finishing up for Juanito, so might be looking like a similar mid-game to what we just saw. And in the back of the Protoss base, we see a Stargate. Look at Special being nice and safe. He's got Marines in his main. He's got Marines in his natural. He's just adding barracks. These Oracles are going to come through. They're going to try to stop combat shields, but so far, Special doing a great job. It's just staying safe, staying secure. I don't see a third command center yet. What's typical here? When do we want to take a third base in a TVP on Beckett Industries? Has Special seen that third base? That was a pretty good little mid-game scout with the Reapers. They obviously all got cleaned up. No idea that Has is taking his third. So sitting back, still no sign of a third command center either. So this could be indicative of a little bit of a mid-game timing push.
I mean, this is a map where if you get tanks up in a good spot, you can maybe even complement that little setup with a couple of bunkers or even a missile turret to prevent those oracles from diving on top of it. But I do feel that whatever move out Special is going to make, it's gonna have to find some damage, because if he doesn't get anything done here, with indeed how late that third command center is, then Has is just gonna have a bit too much. Because at the moment Has is mining of 3 bases. I'm actually kind of starting to feel this setup for a Taiwanese Protoss.
Yeah, I think it's looking okay. It's going to kind of come down to how much time Juanito takes and how much damage he does when he does roll out. And we see him rolling out now. Stim's done, combat shield's done, +1 attack done. And he's even going to possibly catch this Protoss army out in the middle of the map. Has sees what's going on. He's going to come right forward and fight a little bit. Pretty good force fields, but no Colossus range. Oh, dear.
As long as he can just buy some time, as the Oracles are going to pick up some reinforcements. Actually, really cool usage of the Oracles. Good job there by Special, saving the tank with his medevac. Is charge on the way? No, we have a Twilight Council though, but has never started charge. And that's a bloody shame, because A, it's a very cheap upgrade, and B, it really doesn't take that long. And I think it could have been done right about now.
Great use of the Oracles in the middle, and very cheeky, setting up some missile turrets right outside the natural. Special still doesn't know there's a third. Like, he could just maybe walk over there and kill it. He could certainly send a couple Marines over there to shut down any mining, but he's playing with incorrect information. Has really wants to break out of this little contain that's on him, and oh my goodness, I don't know if it's going to be so easy.
No, this is going to be a long fight, because it has made please start charge. Okay, there we go. Finally starts perhaps the most important upgrade, because he's been wiping in quite a few Zealots, and it really makes these Zealots so much more useful. It kind of all comes down to the tanks, but Has is having a pretty good time just being annoying in the center of the map. Picked up a couple of reinforcements, did lose 2 out of 3 Oracles though. You know, maybe Has can even just drop a Nexus elsewhere and eventually give up on this, because Special is very committed. He's in a way very all in, and I wouldn't even hate the idea of Has just dropping a Nexus elsewhere.
Yeah, Major still, Special still not scouting that third base. Like you said, he's just putting a hard contain on, building turrets. Might even, are those a couple of bunkers going up? This is going to be a tough spot to break out of. But, you know, Special's got no third. Has is very slowly adding to that army. He's got a lot of Zealots on the way, Immortal coming out. That's going to perhaps help break through. A couple of supply depots completing the wall off. What a crazy little play here from Special. He's just rallying all of his units right to Has natural, and Has can't really do much about it yet.
This is a real back in industry special. I mean, this feels indeed almost unbreakable at this point, and that's why if I'm Has, I'd be like, mate, you know that Special's on 2 bases.
Yeah,
he's got
he's
an
doing
observer
it.
on the other side of the map. Just build that nexus elsewhere, and that's indeed what he's doing now. This Colossus is a sitting duck, as the Stalkers were just not helping out at all. Oh, careful with the probes!
Second Colossus!
He rallied the probes on the wrong side of the nexus, so all of them clumped up, and a few tank volleys took down 16 probes.
Here. This is getting disastrous for Has, who's been pushed back all the way into his main now, almost. Natural now, almost. As you're right, he did take that that other 4th expansion, but the 3rd is now gone, and Special in a great spot. Zealots now getting into the natural expansion of. Oh, just fights happening everywhere. Has decided now's the time. He's going to push forward. Major's army is still very strong. These Zealots in the natural, though, are doing massive damage. So Special just... I can't call it, Kev. I don't really know what's going to happen here. The Special economy has been pretty blasted. I'd say it's equivalent damage to what happened when Has rallied all his probes into the tanks. But there's no 3rd base, right? There's Special's out of economy.
Yep, but the bigger the armies become, I feel like the better it is for Special, because Has does not have any splash damage. Does have a couple of High Templars, but they are forced to morph into Archons. I mean, maybe if Has gets a super sweet surround on his army, then the tanks can deal some friendly fire, they can shoot at each other. But the Zealots that are in the center of the map, it almost feels like Has is waiting for that. Obviously, Special's aware of it too. I mean, this game is actually quite wild. I want to say I like it for Has, but it really comes down to the engagement that he ends up taking.
Special says, I've had enough. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go clean up this mess in my natural and see if I can't stabilize. And I think this might actually be... I don't know. I think it might be the wrong decision. I think he's taking the pressure off. I think Has is in a pretty good spot. Like, Special's supply cap, Special's economy's in shambles. There's the big recall to bring everybody home. And now that all that pressure has been taken off, Has can take a little bit of map control back. He can take that nexus that he'd lost previously. Special all the way backed up into his natural. He's got 21 workers. His economy is just ruined.
Yeah, but he's got triple orbital, and 12 minutes into Legacy of the Void, the 42 probes that Has have, they don't mean anything on the 2 mineral lines. So Special is actually still gonna mine more than Has is. And this game is just so wild. Like, I'm just giggling because of how wild it is. And it doesn't make any sense. Special now has just a weird army for this phase in the game. Trapped on of tanks can be very good on Beckett, but it really once more just comes down to the engagements, as Has does not have any idea, I believe, this double drop that's heading toward his main base. But he should be able to deal with it. I don't know if he can recall, because he just recalled the Zealots, right?
This could actually do some damage. There's nothing at home to help. Special's going to unload. Now Has knows what's happening. And at the same time, we see Special moving out from that natural expansion a little bit. A couple of pylons going to get taken down. That will unpower a single warp gate. A few probes are also going to die here. Taking a long time for Has to really react to this.
Yep, Has also taking a very weird fight in the center of the map. Careful with your disruptor as he now fires toward Nova. And he gets a great connection, but the War Prism also died. I don't know if anything was inside of that Prism. My goodness, Has left an Archon behind before, and that's kind of what started all of that. Left an Archon behind. Yeah, that Archon already died, so I guess it was an empty Prism, but I don't know what the hell. We are 13 minutes into a game, and Special has 28 SCVs. And now has Disruptors and Storm, but does he have any High Templars? Yeah, he's got 2 of them. It's impossible to break a 2-base Terran. It's now a Medivac.
A couple of High Templar, drop a few Storms, pick up some kills, but then the Archon's going to get cleaned up as well. We see Has's entire army is coming back. Special still being aggressive with these Medivacs. 1 Zealot's not going to be enough. The other 4 might help a little bit more. Let's pick off that Forge.
Yeah, we are 50 minutes in, and I'm almost shocked to say that this game is stabilizing? Question mark.
Yeah. Very scrappy matches, game 1 and game 2, and I think, if I had to make a prediction at this point, I think Has is in a pretty good spot. He's got a large army. His economy's fine. Special, though, is also more or less recovered from any damage that he'd taken previously. More or less, equivalent army supply, and starting to move back out on the map once again. A couple of Marauders going to pick off a sentry and then scoot on out of there.
As is using his entire army to chase those two medevacs at the bottom, and that just kind of opens the door for Special to once more take control of this high ground. As his units are just all over the place. 18 probes have already gone down. A few more are going to fall, but Haz is like, cool, now you're attacking me. That means I can finally do what I've been wanting to do for 5 minutes, and that is attack you. Look at the mini-map, how disorganized is this Protoss army?
We've got some kind of crazy base race unfolding. We've got Protoss units making their way into the Terran natural. We've got Terran units making their way into the Protoss natural. Major showing a little bit of indecision here, bouncing between the natural and the, I guess, third base now. Haz is going to lose everything here. So this natural is going to get cleaned up, and we see just a bunch of SCVs chilling out up at the top. Hey, bro, what's going on? Oh, I'm just taking it easy. Zealot there doing a decent amount of damage. Meanwhile, in the natural and in the main, we see Major doing everything he can to hang on, and he's doing a pretty okay job. One Colossus left, staying alive, though. And, you know, I think the way this has gone is really favoring Special. He's lost his economy, so has Haz. And I think of the two standing armies, it looks like Special is in a much better position. So this will be very interesting to see how Game 2 comes to its conclusion.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, but it kind of comes down to the spellcasting units. Like, if the EMPs are great and then Haz takes a poor fight, then sure. But if the High Templars can land a couple of great storms, and the High Templars are going to get revealed, actually, by these SCVs. This Zealot, by the way, has got 19 kills. Gonna get 20.
Give it one more!
He's gonna get all of them.
The chase. Oh my goodness, he's just an absolute killer. 2 SCVs will make it away traumatized and very sad.
Storms and Novas against EMPs and tanks. Haz has
Final
to be careful.
fight. Don't get your Templars tanked. First storm kind of whiffs. It all comes down to this. Final count. Oh, that hurts. And 93 supply to 97. Could you ask for a closer game?
Yep. Any unit you kill in this phase is super important. It's going to be hard for both players to rebuild anything that they are losing. Haz even left a couple of units behind. Special's going to steam forward. That's a big storm that Haz is able to land. Nova's going forward as well. One Nova does not go down, though. Both disruptors fall.
With the
Colossus.
Colossus.
It only feels that the army of Special is a bit stronger than the army of Haz. Where are those Zealots when you need them the most? They show up a little bit late. I actually think Special has done it after all. My goodness, what a game.
What a game indeed. You know, I feel like Haz...